I'm waiting on Desmond to get here, and he's bringing Chinese food. He's back. I see his car. It's pulling up. He's got the food inside his truck. Well, car. He drives a car, not a truck. I'm always waiting on someone else.
What's up?
So, this is obviously not like a traditional mukbang because we don't have crap tons of food.
And I'm not eating all that, just not gonna do it.
And it's way too many calories. Anyhow, we have Chinese food today for lunch, and we're just gonna chit chat a little bit and get to know Desmond because he's not my husband.
No.
I've actually had a few people from Instagram who thought that Desmond was my husband. I do have a husband, but his name is Darren, and this is not Darren. This is Desmond. Desmond and I have been friends since 2002. May of 2002.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
It is.
Do you remember the day that we met?
I remember you wanted a blender.
Yes.
Because we wanted a blender because we wanted to make drinks also.
Well, my roommate and I moved out of we both went to Johnson & Wales University when it was in Charleston, South Carolina. It's not there anymore. But my roommate and I moved out of the apartments that, we can eat while we're doing this. We moved out. We wanted to live in a real apartment and not in student housing. And so we got an apartment, and it was on the 3rd floor. There were 2 apartments on the 3rd floor. And this guy was in the apartment that was next to ours. And when we were moving in, we wanted to make pina coladas. And we didn't have a blender. So we went next door to these guys and asked if they had a blender. And you did not.
No. So we watched you like beat ice on the ground for like a good 5 minutes.
With a hammer in a Ziploc bag, thinking that was going to make it good enough for no. So then we all got into a car together and went to the store. Yeah, so anyway, this is mixed vegetables with garlic sauce.
I got a General's chicken. That's supposed to be extra spicy, but it's not spicy at all.
Really?
No.
That's a shame.
It's like...
This is lo mein, vegetable lo mein. Lots of vegetables. So what are the coconut wings that you got?
Oh, just wings with coconut sauce on them.
I really believe I could probably eat Chinese food every day.
Okay. This is actually pretty good.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Is it really sweet?
No. It's kind of like coconutty, but not sweet. Extra sweet.
Well, that's good. I was just trying to think of like stuff that was interesting and stuff that would like help people like get to know us.
Like people normally wonder why I don't talk a lot. I hate my voice.
That's why you don't talk a lot?
Yeah, I hate it. Like in my head it sounds good, but then I hear it back, I'm like, ugh. Like, nah. I'm just gonna keep that to myself.
Well, somebody said to me on Instagram the other day that they could just listen to me talk all day.
I like your accent though. Like,
you make fun of my accent.
That don't mean I don't like it. Like I have a country accent. You have like a deep southern accent. My southern is like not as rich as yours. But I think it's like the area where I'm from. Like we don't really have that much twang. But we have like the southern drawl or the southern speed. Like my mom speaks really fast. My dad spoke really slow.
Yeah.
And like I tend to end one way or the other.
I feel like I'm constantly asking you what you said because you mumble.
Yeah, that's because I don't want to talk too loud because I hate my voice. I do it on purpose.
This is really good. How's yours?
It's really okay. I got what was left.
I think Carlo just woke up. Look and see if his door was open. Okay, let's not talk so loud. This is gonna turn into an AMSR. ASRM. What is it?
ASMR.
ASM.
ASMR.
There was this time, I'll never forget this story. It was a 45-minute drive from my parents' house, and I was living with them. My hair looks crazy. And I would have to get up at 3:30 in the morning. And when I was driving, I used to smoke cigarettes. And I would stop at the gas station, and I would get a pack of cigarettes and a coffee. And there was one morning in particular, I'm sure it was like a Friday or a Saturday, and I went to go get my coffee and cigarettes, and there was a group of people that were like my age, like 21, 22, and they were clearly coming back from partying or the bar or like somewhere, and they were just having so much fun, and I was just thinking about how like I never got to do that stuff, and like I just sat in my car and cried the whole way to work because that's all I did was work.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't really have time for friends or time to do stuff because I worked so much. And I really loved working there, but it was just so draining.
Yeah,
and
it takes
then
a lot.
you and Scott had moved from Charleston to Columbia, and you were like, well, come stay with us for the weekend and come party with us. Do you remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And I did, and then I was just like, oh my God, I am missing out on so much stuff. I've got to move here. And then I did, right? Like the next weekend.
Yeah.
I moved I was like, bam, I'm done.
She slept in our dining room for like a month.
I slept on the floor in the dining room. Y'all didn't have a table.
No. We didn't have a table.
I know you didn't have a table.
Our dining space.
It was there, where the light hangs down. And and so I slept there probably, gosh, I don't even know how long I slept there. I mean, not that long, but a while.
Like maybe a month or two.
Yeah, for a while. And then, I'm trying to think. I stayed here for a little while, but like I was having a really hard time finding a job. And so I moved back.
Mm-hmm.
I moved back home. I got a job at a bank because when I was in high school, and when I was a senior in high school, I worked at a credit union as a teller. And
Yeah, but she was miserable.
oh my
When
God,
you went back.
I went back and I was just so miserable. I worked at the bank, and then I also worked at the fudge shop in Helen. If you've ever been to Helen, Georgia, I used to work at Brookstown Fudge in Helen. And they have like a huge Oktoberfest there. It's like a big deal. Little Alpine village, right? It's really close to where I'm from. But yeah, so like I did that, and then I was so miserable. Remember, we had like a going away thing, like a big dinner, like we all went out for Mexican, and I was just like, the last time that I was gonna be there, and I don't even think I stayed home maybe 6 months,
No.
and then I came back.
You came back really quick.
I came back. I missed my friends. So we've been friends for forever, literally. And we're like the only two really left
Mm-hmm.
in the group that hang out. And even when I moved away and stuff, like, we still talked. And like, you've been around both my kids ever since they were born.
Yeah.
They love him.
Although there's like twice your daughter hated me, so.
Well, it was just one time, but it was extended. We don't know why she hated him, but she decided all of a sudden one day that she just like hated you.
Yeah, she did. I was like, oh, all right. So.
Like she would not even come downstairs. If you were there, she didn't want to be around. And I was like, what did you do to her?
I have
To
no
make
idea.
her so. We never could figure it out. And then one day she was just like, I love you again.
Yeah.
So weird. So no, he's not my husband, but he's been around longer than my husband.
Darren's a good choice, though.
What?
I said Darren's a good choice.
I think Darren's a great choice.
I gotta wash my
I mean,
hands.
I
I
hate
feel
it.
gross.
Wash your hands.
I'm trying to pick out a better
A
word.
lot of people say, like, I'm going to take a year off high school before I go to college, and then they never go to college.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I'm going to take a year off of high school and work my ass off and pay off my car so I can go to college and not have a car payment. And guess what? That's what I did. I worked at a grocery store as a cashier. I worked at a police department.
What did you do there?
I ran background checks at nighttime. Like I would go into work at like 10 o'clock at night and I would work until like 2 o'clock in the morning. And I would just run background checks. Like they would have lists of people that you have to run background, you know. And I would do that. And then I also worked for my dad. My dad owns a commercial door and hardware business. And I would work, but I was part-time at all of them. No. I worked full-time for my dad and part-time for the grocery store and the police department. I worked my butt off. And looking at pictures back then, like, you can just tell I didn't eat. I was so skinny.
He was super tiny.
Ew, what's all over it? Pick one.
Well, I had one picked out.
Mine says, it's up to you to make the next move. And see, right now I'm thinking like I've been talking about cakes and all this, so it's talking about like, it's up to you, Stephanie. Read yours, Desmond.
No, I don't want it.
I'll read it. Desmond's fortune cookie says, never despair, but if you do, work on in despair.
I don't even know what that means.
I think it means that if you're gonna be sad, just keep on trucking while you're sad. You ever keep a fortune?
No.
I used to have one. Darren has one in his wallet. It's been there for like 2 years.
I like my online fortune cookie better than that one.
I don't remember what it said.
I don't know either, but I remember it's pretty cool.
Oh my god, I'm still hungry.
I would be eating more, but I don't want that rice.
Want some more, man?
I'll take a little bit.
You got the plate. Oh, you can do that then.
Yeah.
Do you care for... Okay.
That's not.
What else can people learn from this about you since you're in my stories and we're doing all these videos together? Other than that you're not my husband and we went to school together and we've been friends for almost 20 years.
I'm not even 20 years
Do
old.
you even feel that old? I don't feel that old.
No. I don't know. I'm just completely random.
What was your favorite thing about living in Charleston? That's a good question. Or like, what do you miss most?
I miss being able to go to the beach anytime I wanted.
I wish I could remember the name of the place that Darren and I went the last time that we were in Charleston. It was really good. It was near the Battery, but it was like back.
The last place I went to when I was in Charleston, like not too long ago,
Oh, so good.
was like, the name of the restaurant was like a little pink building, and they did like southern food.
Where at?
It's like on the street across from Harris Teeter. You know, like Harris Teeter's right here. There's that street, then you walk down. It's
East
right
Bay
on that
Street?
corner. Yeah,
Pink building?
yeah. It's like a little pink. It's like a little pink house, but it's a little restaurant.
Was it good?
It was delicious.
What are you doing to that? Don't do that to that.
It'll be all right. I'll
I
make
feel
it
like
better.
we need to stop talking because it's just,
Yeah.
we're not even eating anymore. Now we're just talking. Don't pull at that. Unless there's anything
Bye.
else that unless there's anything else that you think we need to talk about. Is there anything else we need to talk about?
No, not this time.
Okay. Well, maybe next time we can bake something.
Yeah.
Yeah, next time we'll get baked. I mean, next time we'll bake.